Listening to music on the go has never been more convenient. With the ability to load up hundreds of thousands of our favorite songs onto 5-inch devices, it's hard to imagine listening to music any other way. Our phone's capability to reliably carry music wherever we go is what music enthusiasts a little over 20 years ago could only have dreamed of. Thanks to Apple's legendary release of the iPod a bit over 20 years ago, on-the-go music listening is better than it's ever been. Welcome to the 9th episode of Retro Tech, the show where we dive into technological innovations of the past and analyze their legacies. I'm your host Vex0r, and today I will present a story of a device whose technologies resonate throughout the history of all smartphones. Before the release of the iPod, portable music came in the form of clunky Walkman or handheld CD players. While a personal music player was an incredible technological feat at the time, these devices were flawed. Besides the size and weight of these devices, sometimes you'd have to untangle your cassette tape from your Walkman, or sometimes your CD would skip around if the player was bumped too hard. And even though digital MP3 players at the time solved the issue of having to carry around your own tapes or CDs, they were difficult to use. The first digital audio player, British inventor Kane Kramer's 1979 IXI, was only able to carry about one song and flopped in the market. A new music player was needed. At the same time, the company Apple Computers was losing ground to its competitors. They needed something new to return to dominance in their industry. In early 2001, they took a chance and put faith in inventor Tony Fadell, who was looking to create a new, better MP3 player. Hired as an independent contractor under Apple, Fadell and his team of 30 in collaboration with company Portal Player developed the design and software for the iPod prototype within just 8 months. With design influence from a generic cigarette packet, Fadell fulfilled his contract with Apple and delivered his prototype, from which Apple then perfected with user interface tune-ups and the implementation of the famous scroll wheel. By the end of its development, the iPod was a fully realized 5GB 6.5-ounce music player that solved the issue of user intuition. It was time to see how the world would react to it on October 23, 2001. With a large storage and the best ease of use compared to competitor products at the time, Apple set themselves up to dominate the mobile device marketplace. But for some time, the iPod wasn't completely available to everyone who was looking to buy one. 9 months prior to the release of the iPod, Apple released iTunes, their music player application. With this software, Apple began to set the foundation of what would grow to become the Apple ecosystem, streamlining a way to import music from computer to iPod. But one big problem limited the market. iTunes was only available for Mac. While Apple gave Mac users the great ability to import songs from CD to Mac to iPod, it was, according to an analyst by the New York Times, a nice feature for Macintosh users, but to the rest of the Windows world, it doesn't make any difference. By April of 2003, iTunes had also become a marketplace where users could download songs for 99 cents each. Thus, Apple, in a shocking move, announced iTunes for Windows, opening up the iTunes marketplace and the iPod to all computer owners. By 2006, its sales were responsible for 40% of Apple's revenue. The iPod was a company-saving success. With its intuitive controls, the iPod rose beyond the existing portable MP3 players. It was also somewhat of a status symbol back in its release. Compared to its competitors, it was sleek and gave a way for people to flex their expansive music collection on the go. The music industry also had the iPod to thank. Not only did it revolutionize portable music, but it also helped turn the tide in the battle against music piracy. Back in the prime days of Napster, online file sharing made music downloads free. With the release of the iTunes Store, music was easy, affordable, and combated against music piracy. The iPod soon became the face of portable MP3 playback. the juggernaut that competitors had to beat. And competitors would have a lot to fight against, considering that Apple would continuously upgrade and release more models of the iPod, with each update being slicker and cooler than the last. Different versions of the device sprouted as well, including the iPod mini, Shuffle, Nano, and Touch, each one bringing a new capability every iteration, like more storage, tinier form factor, and even video playback. For almost a decade, Apple had no competitors to worry about. The iPod was untouchable. There was only one thing that could topple it, and that was Apple itself. Months before the release of the iPod Touch in 2007, Apple CEO Steve Jobs promised a new product that was an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. He announced that this is one device, and we are calling it iPhone. Having the iPhone take over the functionality of the iPod meant that consumers didn't have to buy them any longer. Admittedly, this was all part of Apple's plan. This new lineup was designed to cannibalize the iPod, and in 2009, the company's CFO Peter Oppenheimer predicted all MP3 players to decline with the rise of the iPhone. Thus, the massive positive sales of the iPhone directly and intentionally correlated with the negative decline of the iPod. As the iPhone series continued and its popularity rose, one by one Apple started discontinuing their iPod products. In 2014, the classic iPod entered production, and lastly in 2017, the Nano and Shuffle discontinued as well. After 20 years, the iPod, with its functionality completely eclipsed by the iPhone, has faded out of the Apple ecosystem. But how does its legacy live on today? To say that the iPhone stood rival to the iPod would be an inaccuracy. Rather, the iPhone could not have had its meteoric rise without it. Through the evolution of the iPod series, Apple was setting the standard of what all smartphones should be. A smartphone should have MP3 playback like the original 2001 iPod. It should be sleek and easy to carry like the 2004 iPod mini, and it should have touch and Wi-Fi capabilities like the 2007 iPod Touch. The iPod's innovations are the lifeblood of all smart devices today, and its legacy will ring on forever in technological history. Thanks for joining me in looking back on the 20-year legacy of Apple's iPod. The 90s, 80s, 70s, and beyond are full of wonders just like the ones we explored today, and my channel is your starting point to discover more from these eras. So subscribe for more about artifacts of the past, classic mysteries, and stories from the retro age. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and most importantly, have a tremendous rest of your day.